93 Boxing. I'm back with a quick video. Brandon Rios has fought Aaron Herrera and he has KO'd him in round 7 or 8. I really don't know, to be honest. It is one of them rounds. But let me quickly see. Yep, it's at round 7. And, you know, the fight wasn't really too much of a surprise to me. Aaron Herrera is, no disrespect, a bit of a bum, but he's not the bummiest bum, if that makes sense, out of all of the ones that Rios could have picked. Rios is also, he's had a long layoff. He hasn't fought since 2015, November 2015. So it's about a year and a half layoff for him, and a layoff where he came off a stoppage loss. So he's fighting Aaron Herrera. In the first round, he does pretty well, actually. He actually moves his head a little bit. He actually does step side. Like, everything he does was very, not too noticeable to the eye, but it was very subtle, if that makes sense. So he does all this, but as the fight progressed, he kind of goes back to his usual way almost. Like, he does jab a bit more than he normally does. He does do a lot of different things, but that he normally doesn't do. But everything's very subtle, which I like. But the first round was very prominent that this guy has been training with improving skills in mind. Now, you have to keep in mind that Brandon Rios hasn't been in the ring for a long time. When you're in the ring, when things get as you keep doing it, you have the tendency to get back to how you normally are. That can be corrected with practice in the ring and in sparring, in the gym, and also in the fight. Because as you have more fights with this new trainer, and as you have transferred your skills, as you have practiced how to transfer those skills that you learned in the gym into a real fight, as you keep having more fights, he'll be able to have better display of the skills in the fight, if that makes sense. So basically, if he learns to, let's say, jab and step aside and head movement, right, in the first fight it may not happen as much as he would have liked to happen, and as much as he made it happen in the gym. Because remember, you're under pressure. It's an actual boxing fight. You kind of go back to how you used to do it. But as you keep practicing more and more in the gym, and as you keep trying to put it to the test in the ring, you'll get better and better of applying those skills in the ring. And Brandon Rios in the first round, he was looking really good with those skills. I personally think that as he was fading away, he was kind of being more himself as he was in the past. I feel like with more fights, he'll get better at that. He'll look more like he did in round 1. I mean, you don't learn anything. Look, Brandon Rios is being retaught certain things like head movement and stuff, where he would just keep his head in one place normally, but now he's being taught how to move his head properly, how to step aside, how to jab well, things like that. This will come over time. It's new to him. It's kind of new to him, applying this on a consistent basis in the ring. I feel like Brandon Rios was the ring rust could have played a part as well, because this fight was fairly competitive, actually. Rios was having it pretty much, but it's not like he was dominating this guy completely, but it was nothing like that. He was winning until he stopped him, I believe, with a body shot. That was pretty well placed. The body shot was pretty well placed. Congratulations to Brandon Rios. I like to see more of him. The reason why I'm not a fan of him is because he puts out good fights. He has heart. And I just think if he's able to dedicate himself, put more work in the gym, just to have some more skills to his arsenal, more tools on his arsenal, he'll be able to perform well. He did say, I believe, that he wants to win a world title. I mean, he's a 147 fighter, right? Unless I'm missing something. Maybe he's a 140 fighter. I have to check that. Let me check quick. Yep, this was 146 fighter. I mean, I know he fought Timothy Bradley at 146. He's had fights at 146, but I was wondering if this fight is going to be at 140. Apparently made the weight from 190, which is quite impressive. But if Rios stays in shape more often, he does the things right, he will do well. Do I think he's gonna win the world title at 147? Because he says he wants to win the world title. I mean, right now the people that have a world, he's not gonna win the world title anytime soon. Probably in 2019 or late 2018. He'd be very lucky to get a title shot in mid or early 2018. Or maybe I'm being biased. I don't know. But can he get a title? Can he even win a title shot? I mean, there's so many good fighters out there. I think you have you got someone like a Sean Porter, Keith Thurman. I feel like Sean Porter beats him. I think Keith Thurman beats him. I think Errol Spence beats him. I think Kell Brook beats him. I think Amir Khan beats him. I think he can put Amir Khan with some problems because of the inside fighting. But nah, man, I think Amir Khan beats him. I think, man, maybe Jesse Vargas beats him as well. Jesse Vargas, I think, beats him. I'd like to see him against Chris Algieri. That'd be a good fight. Who do you think he should fight next? But, and also before that, do you think he can win the title? Because, I mean, right now the champions are Manny Pacquiao. Keith Thurman's got 2 titles. Errol Spence. I mean, as I said, I mean, Danny Garcia beats him as well. So a lot of these fighters that I think are at the higher level of 147, who are likely to have titles. I mean, right now, Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, and Manny Pacquiao has a title. But if these titles get passed around, i.e. if these fighters lose, there's got to be passed around to another good fighter at 147. Can Brandon Rios get it off any good fighter? I mean, he lost to Timothy Bradley. In a rematch, can he beat Timothy Bradley? I want to see Brandon Rios a few more fights and then I want to make my mind up. But I don't think he'll be able to win a title, to be honest. I think these guys are too good in his weight division. I think he can improve significantly. And who do you think he should fight next? Do you think... Because the next fight he could have against maybe... I don't know, I'm thinking. Jesse Vargas, I think, beats him. That could be a fight. Jesse Vargas is coming off a loss. But I think Jesse Vargas might be a bit too much for him. I think Vargas moves his feet a bit better. He does have a longer reach. He does use his jab. He has good timing. And on the long range, he can actually... He's got some pop as well. Jesse Vargas can crack. Not like a Keith Thurman, no, nothing like that. But he's got power. There's Chris Algieri, I think. I think he can fight Chris Algieri. Chris Algieri, can he... I don't know, man. Chris Algieri might be able to beat him. But we don't know. Chris Algieri is a decent boxer. He's a pretty decent boxer. But I think he's a lot tougher than what people think. He can take a good shot. I mean, he's pretty tough. And, you know, his power, it's not all that, but it's a bit underrated. I feel like we've seen against Manny Pacquiao and Ruslan Provodnikov, he didn't really sit down on any punches. Against Errol Smith, he wasn't able to display any of his power. Errol Smith, he's just set him up real nicely. Amir Khan, again, Chris Algieri was able to put off a good fight against Amir Khan. He was able to sit down on his punches in that fight, land a lot of right hands. Nothing to hurt Rios. But I feel like Algieri is a higher level fighter than... I mean... Would you say Algieri's... Who did Rios beat, right? That was like a high-level fighter. I mean, Mike Alvarado, but who else, like... I mean, he's got some fighters on this thing. He's got Mike Alvarado. He did beat Diego Chavez. I think it was through a disqualification. He fought Richard Abril, who's... I mean, he ain't all that, in my opinion. He did... Richard Abril lost to pretty much anyone who's even a little bit known, like Bradis Prescott. Sorry, who else is there? No, wait, give me a sec. Richard Abril lost to Hank Lundy. He lost to Bradis Prescott. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. So, I mean, these are not complete bums that he fought, but apart from Mike Alvarado and Diego Chavez, which is really a disqualification, I don't really know anyone who he really beat that's of a higher level. But it might change. I want to see him against a Chris Algieri. I think Chris Algieri might be his best opponent that he fights. I do think Chris Algieri is better than Mike Alvarado. I mean, at least in terms of skills, like, maybe not in terms of power and just that firepower overall. But I want to see him against a Chris Algieri. That would be an interesting fight. I mean, who else is there? Maybe Robert Guerrero. But I think that might be a bit too much of a jump for him. I think I think Rios should have another fight and then jump into like Algeria or Guerrero. I don't really rate Guerrero as much as a lot of people do, but I never really rated him that high. I just thought Andre brought for the wrong fight at 147 against him, and he just sort of that gave him Robert Guerrero all the shine that he needed. And yeah, I feel like I think Robert Guerrero could beat him because he does have better footwork and whatever, but man, Robert Guerrero lost to a cab driver. Shit. Hey, you never know, man. I don't think if he does fight Robert Guerrero, should have another fight in between and then fight Robert Guerrero. You know, there's Saddam Ali. I don't know if he'll be able to get a fight with Saddam Ali because I'm fairly sure they're trying to build up his name up, like Saddam Ali's name. So that probably won't happen anytime soon. But yeah, let me know who you think he can beat if he does get better, and let me know who you think he should fight next. 93 boxing, and I'll be back later.